Well, hello everybody, it's Doug Rucker again with pressurewashingschool.com and DougRuckerStore.com. Again, we're located right here in the Houston, Texas area. We're in Porter, which is just north of Kingwood. We're kind of off the 59 North Park area, and we're actually off of Loop 494. So, stop in and see us sometime if you can. I'd love to help you out with any equipment needs you need, rig builds you need, any pressure washing, soft washing supplies that we can help you with, or even just talk a little shop with you. So if you have any questions about any of our store products, then just email us at info@DougRuckerStore.com or call or text 281-612-1223. And as far as the school is concerned, our next hands-on training and classroom training is Saturday, August 9th. We generally go from about 8:30 to about 3, 4 o'clock, somewhere in that area, depending on how many people attend, how many people ask, or how many questions get asked, all that kind of thing. So for all that, you can go to pressurewashingschool.com and get registered there. And then don't forget about the online video school. If you can't make it out for hands-on training, it's over 250 something videos that will help you drastically cut your learning curve. And you can do it right from the comforts of your home. And then also we offer point training, personal, on-site, individual, next level training. So you're able to train on scene or train on screen, two different options that you have. And again, any of that information that you need, you can go to pressurewashingschool.com or you can email me at pressurecleaningschool@gmail.com. Hey, coming up in this video, I'm going to talk about a modification to your downstream injector that you can make that will help your injectors last longer and also pull you a little bit stronger mix. So stay tuned for that. Coming up next. So inside the general pump downstream injectors, and really most downstream injectors, you've got a small spring and a ball. I'll take this one off, and there you can see that spring had gotten turned kind of sideways. This one has a ceramic ball in it, but you can see in there, there's the little white ball, and it's stuck. But basically what they're doing is they're acting as a built-in check valve, and they only open when the water pressure drops enough. Like when you're using a soap valve, a soap nozzle, like your black nozzle that comes with like a 4-gallon or 5-gallon per minute machine, or if you're using the soap high or soap low nozzles on a J-rod kit. The problem is that ball and spring, here's a brand new one, I'll let you see it. And there's the ball that falls out. You know, when taking these apart, you got to make sure that your that ball will go flying far. See if we can do this. Okay. That ball and spring create resistance, and that resistance reduces how much chemical the injector can actually pull. And what can happen over time because of debris or just the bleach that we use or whatever, that ball can actually get stuck inside there. And so that causes you to have to take this hose barb off and get it out, clean it up, lube it, whatever. This one's not, anyway, I'll deal with that later. One of the cool things and a mod that you can do is, and by the way, when this ball won't move, it's not going to work. All right. So one of the things that you can do is you can add a 1/4-inch check valve right here. This comes, when we sell these, this comes with the adapter to fit on only the general pump hydro injector. It will not fit other injectors. So it comes with that, and then you've got the check valve, and we do a brass hose barb just to keep the cost down. They're simple and easy to replace, easy to find, and I've never found the stainless steel to do, just not, I never found it to work any better than the brass one. So anyway, the check valve still stops the water from flowing back into your chem tank, but it's way less restrictive than the internal setup like this. Now, with a stock injector, normally, you know, just the way it comes, you're looking at a draw rate at around, I don't know, 10 to 1 or 12 to 1. So that's basically, you know, 1 part bleach to 10 or 12 parts water. But adding this, we're seeing draw rates from people of 7 to 1, even 5 to 1, depending on the gallon per minute of your machine, the hose length, your setup, all of that kind of stuff. And so it just means a stronger mix coming down your hose, which helps on stucco, heavy mildew, and can sometimes give you longer dwell times. But I've never done an actual draw test. I'm not a guy that does draw testing. I don't really care what it's coming out at, because all I care about is that bleach changing the color of that algae or organic staining that's on the wall. If it's not, then I know downstreaming is not going to work, and I got to pull out my pump up sprayer or pull out my Kingslinger or my Softy, whichever one I have. You know, I have the Softy on my trailer setup and the Kingslinger on my truck. So if you're soft washing with your pressure washer, this is not really going to get you close to a dedicated soft wash strength, but it is strong enough to change the color of some of those light to medium to almost heavy organic stains. I have noticed a big difference. There's another thing that I'll tell you that you can do that will help you get a strong, well, I'll just tell you now. If you've got an 8 gallon per minute machine, I use a 3 to 5 gallon per minute injector because it's going to draw less water, which is giving me more bleach. If you've got a 4 gallon per minute machine or 5 gallon per minute machine, you could use the 2 to 3 gallon per minute injector, and that would do the same thing. What I can't do on my 8 is go from an 8 or go from a using the 3 to 5 injector or the 5 to 8 down to the 2 to 3 gallon per minute, because it's just not going to work. It's going to bog your machine down because it's not pushing enough water, pulling enough water. So you can usually go 1 step down, but you can't go 2 down. So that'll help you get a stronger mix as well. All right, a couple of quick tips. One, you want to make sure you're using a good quality check valve like the one that we sell. Cheap ones, they'll restrict the flow, and they're gonna fail early. And when these fail, we have a rebuild kit basically that consists of the spring and an O-ring that goes inside the check valve, so you can easily rebuild it and keep using it. So I always suggest guys, when you buy one of these, and a lot of guys buy 2 or 3 of these because our price is so good on them, you can get these, I don't know how much these are, 10 or 12 bucks, something like that. And you can rebuild this check valve and just keep using it. So that's a little tip. And then this, when you do this, they say it voids the warranty of the injector, but I've never seen or heard of somebody using a warranty on an injector because they're just so cheap. I mean, just to buy the injector is 20 bucks. So you should always have 2, 3, 4 of these, depending on how busy you are, backups ready to go, especially if you're not using the check valve, because you know the bleach just tears everything up. And so I don't know of anything that's really warranted or guaranteed when bleach or some other chemicals are run through it. Now, as always, when you're setting up a downstream injector, make sure that you're paying attention to your arrows. And in this case, there's going to be 2 arrows. You've got an arrow here. I don't know if I can get it to where you can see it. Yeah, right there is the arrow. And that's pointing the direction of the flow for the injector. So your fittings have to be set up so that your mix and water is going to go this way towards your gun. And then there's another arrow here on the check valve that you got to make sure your barb is down here, because your suction hose is here and it's going to pull it up. So that's showing you the direction of the flow on the check valve. So hey, you know, if your injector isn't pulling strong enough bleach, you might want to try this mod. Or if you're going through injectors because of the ball and the spring, you might want to give it a try. They're inexpensive enough. They're quick to install. We also have one that we sell. I think it's called Downstream Injector Check Valve Setup, where you can get it, you can purchase it like this, where it's already set up and ready to go. We just sell it with the plug going out, the water flow going out of the plug, okay? And if you need it different and want the water to come out of the female coupler, then you just need to put that in the notes of your order. So, yeah, I think you'll find it makes a difference. Does it make a huge difference? I don't know. I know my injectors last a lot longer. I do know I get a stronger mix and have very, very, very less downtime due to injectors with this modification, because the ball and the spring are removed and they're not getting stuck. It still won't. Oh, it did come out. No, that's the wrong one. It's this one. I'll do it again, because the ball is not getting stuck. So it's still in there. All right. I know some guys will spray WD-40 or some other stuff up in there, but I've never found that to really help. Water and oil to me don't mix very well, so I end up just replacing the injector. So yeah, hey, you know, this is the kind of stuff I teach at my pressure washing school every month. Hands-on training, classroom training. So if you're getting into the business, you want better results, be sure to try to attend that if you can, and then make sure you subscribe, hit that bell, hit that notification, all that kind of stuff. And so, hey, and then if you've already done this mod, just drop a comment and let me know your results. I'd love to hear how it's working for you. All right, one more tip. When taking these apart, I usually always like to put them in a vise and use a wrench, take it off. So everything is facing up, and I'll unscrew it. And then usually the ball and the spring will sit like that. And that just helps me not to drop it. So see, just dropped it. You got to be real careful when you're taking these apart that you don't lose. It's very easy for that ball to fall out and just start going wherever, usually on the floor, and it rolls away. Same thing with the spring, and then the spring is hard to find. And then just put it back on with it up as well. Also, down in here is a O-ring down in the barb. And somebody was in the other day and told us, or told Raimondo, that the O-rings they started using are different and are not really good for bleach. And so the O-rings and those barbs will go bad faster or whatever. And so I think what could happen is little pieces of it can get caught up into that spring and valve, or the spring up into the area up in here by the spring and valve, and cause it to not work and cause a restriction or whatever. So another good reason to have one of these. I just love these things. So anyway, wanted to give you that hint too, especially on taking it apart. Be careful when you're doing that. All right, guys, again, I hope this has been helpful for you. especially downstreamers like me. I'm about 75–80% downstreaming pretty much everything I do. I love this check valve that goes on to the injectors. And again, put a comment down there below and let me know if you use it, how it's working out for you, if you like it, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, y'all have a very, very blessed day. And don't forget, if we can help you in any way for our store products, that's info@dougruckerstore.com, or call or text 281-612-1223. Or any of our training opportunities, just go to pressurewashingschool.com. You can hit that contact form if you have a question. But everything you really need to know, if you just spend a little time on the website, man, it's packed with information. The frequently asked question section, that will answer tons of questions about what we do, all of that kind of stuff. So again, y'all have a very, very blessed day, and thank you for watching.